Well, how we doing today? Had a pretty good Monday. Been a lot going on, but anyway, I want to tell a little story today that I've never told. I don't think I've ever told a story about the band SoBeiT. The band SoBeiT was a Christian rock band that I was in for. We started around 06 or 7, somewhere in there, and we went through 2010, and we played a lot of shows. We had a good time playing, and anyway, I was going through some videos today, and I come across the one where we played a, when I say we, in this instance, it was me, it was Jody Riddle, Cody Riddle, and Wiley Washington. And we were asked to play it was called a Multicultural event at Ballard Park at Tupelo. And it was, gospel music. And of course, one of my gospel singing heroes was going to be playing that night, and that's Lee Williams. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lee Williams, but it's Lee Williams and the Spiritual QCs. And you've probably heard of, you hadn't heard of him, you've probably heard of the Williams brothers. Now, one of the Williams brothers, now they're kin to Lee. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to get in. You can talk about that in the comments if you want to. I think they were cousins. But anyway, one of the Williams brothers owned the rights to Living Testimony, the song Living Testimony. And it was one of our biggest songs that we did on the CD. Matter of fact, we got permission. We paid for permission to use the song on our CD. And anyway, one of the Williams brothers, Mr. Williams, had to sign off on it because he had the copyright to the song. So anyway, we got asked to do the multicultural thing, and at that time we had played a lot of shows. This was in October of 2009. And matter of fact, it wasn't just a long time after that Cody and Wiley left the band. But anyway, we were asked to do it, so we were more than happy to do it. We were ready to play anywhere. We didn't care, we'd play, And it was at Tupelo, and that's a big old stage. That stage there at Ballard Park, it is a big stage. Anyway, so we get up there, and it's our time to play. And I was coming across, I think it was Eddie Gordon was doing some videoing for us, and it come our time to play. Well, anyway, I've got a Gibson Marauder, and I happened to notice Lee Williams was standing at the back of the stage. Well, I carry my Marauder over there, and he has a guy there that was kind of helping him do stuff. Lee he had some kind of degenerative disease. He was getting in kind of bad health, but man, he could still sing. It didn't keep him from singing, I'm telling you. But anyway, I went up and talked to him and said hi, and he autographed my guitar for me. And anyway, I had never noticed it before, never. But I had noticed that he was in the video. I shared the video with my friends. It's on the SoBeiT Facebook. The video's on the SoBeiT Facebook. So if you want to go over there and find it, if you didn't get it when I shared it today with my friends, you can go over the SoBeiT Facebook, and it's on there. But if you'll notice, we kicked the song off, and if you'll look in the background, that's Lee Williams. His silhouette is behind the drummer, behind Jody, over Jody's right shoulder. That's Lee Williams standing at the back of the stage. And I got to noticing that during the song while it's playing, he's back there going, he's nodding his head to the music. He likes the song. You know, of course, I know he recognized the song. He knows the song, not necessarily our version of it, but he would have known the Williams brothers version of it, you know. And matter of fact, he's probably sung the song. He's probably performed that song. I don't know, but you know, Lee passed away it's been probably a couple of years ago. And man, he had one of those voices that would just nearly tear your heart out. If he couldn't bring the conviction on you singing gospel, there's something wrong with you. I'm just telling you, because man, he could sing. For the last, till this year, I've sung a Lee Williams song that I find no fault. I have sung that song every Easter for the last, I don't know how many years, 10 or 15 years at least. And, you know, I never get tired of it. If you've never listened to the song No Fault, you need to go over and listen to it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Just look under Lee Williams and the Spiritual QCs. But anyway, after we did the Multicultural, we played and everything, I got Lee's autograph. And we were hanging around just a little bit because I wanted to see them do a couple of songs before we left. We had to leave for something. We had something going. Somebody that was with us had to be somewhere else, and we couldn't stay to watch the whole show. And I was like, dang, I'd like to stay and watch the whole show. Because Lee, man, he'd get up there. He didn't run around on the stage. He didn't do a lot of drama on stage or anything like that. But he stood there and he would sing, and it would just nearly rip your heart out. He could sing. I mean, he had so much soul in his voice that it would bring a tear to anybody's eye. It's a loss when the gospel community loses a voice like Lee Williams. You know, it makes me think of Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson was one of the greats too. He's dead and gone now, but he was one of my favorite heroes of gospel music as well. I always led toward more of the soulful gospel than the Southern gospel. There's a lot of the Southern gospels that I like, but I really liked a lot of the soulful gospel. And Lee Williams' voice, he just had one of those voices that really resonated with me. And Charles Johnson was in there too. He didn't have quite the gravel that Lee had. And you know, the one thing about Lee Williams as well is that, man, he's local. He was a local. He lived locally, somewhere between Tupelo and Pontotoc County. And he was a local talent that he played all over the world. I mean, he played all over the world. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, Rick Moreland, worked on Lee's guitar players' amplifiers for him. So, you know, you never know who the great voice that's going to bust out, whether it be local or whether it be from somebody way off. You may not know what voice is going to bust out, but you can tell when you hear a voice that's anointed of God, you know an anointed voice of God. And there was no doubt that Lee had that. It really blew me away when I was sitting there watching that video. I've seen that video 10 or 15 times at least. And I was looking up and I saw his silhouette and I saw his head doing that with the beat. And I was like, well, okay. You know, when you have people that you look up to actually kind of get caught up in a song that you're doing, it gives you a little bit of affirmation there. It gives you a little bit of confidence. And even though SoBeiT only lasted through, I think, 2010, we played when Cody and Wiley left the band. Cody went on to play other music. When they left, we had a couple of other friends of ours step up and come in, join the band, Billy Ray Sneed and Justin Van Landingham. And we actually played the multicultural event again the next year. So, you know, it was pretty good. Matter of fact, a friend of mine, Ashley Coleman, now got up and sung a song with me. But there's a video of that somewhere, or I know there's some pictures. I don't know if there's video or not. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that I'd never noticed that before. It's funny how you watch something 100 times, or 10 or 15 times, like I said, and you didn't notice something till one day you notice. And you notice that head bob with the beat. This has been the Steering Wheel Commentator. Like, share, subscribe, make a comment as long as it's good. We'll see you next time.